In this video, we're going to cover how we can find things within our code editor. So let's go ahead and open one of our files, Password Data Editor, and expand it so that we can see a greater detail of the code we're actually looking at. Find is of course very useful whenever you're trying to make changes to your code and you want to find where that element might be referenced, or if you know a line of code exists that has something in it that you want to find, and oftentimes you may be finding and replacing. For example, if you want to change a variable name for some reason. So if I wanted to change current index, I might hit Control F or go to the Edit menu and select Find Replace, which is Control F. And once again, of course, on the Mac, that would be Command F. So we'll see that brings up current index, and we can replace with something like password index. And you can see that you can select direction, forward or backward, to determine where the next one is and find it. And if you want to find and replace all, you can do that here by selecting Replace All, or you can replace just one. So you can see there are many different options available. Let's go ahead and replace all, and we'll see that that has happened. 21 matches replaced. And it basically selects one of them. And if you wanted to see now where that was, and you want to just step through, you could select Control F again to find it. Or what you could do is go to the Edit menu and say Find and Replace again. But note that there's Find Next and Find Previous, which use the Control key, or again on the Mac, that would be the Command key, plus K, or Command plus Shift K, or Control plus Shift K. So essentially to go forward, just hit the Control or Command key plus K. If you want to go backward, hit the same combination, adding in Shift as well. So here if I want to select Password Index, and I can select Control F to find that, and it brings up the menu, or I can simply be on Password Index and say Control K, and it will take me to the next one. And I can Control K through each of these. If I want to go backwards, I just hold Shift as well, and again, I can go forwards and backwards. So it's very easy to find our specific item and to do replace. Now finally, as we're looking at finding items in our editor, I want to show you one pretty cool feature of the Eclipse editor, and that's called an incremental search. So there may be times when we're working with code and we're not familiar exactly with what we're looking for. We may remember that we typed a variable, or we may know that essentially I know it's a button, so it's going to start with BTN because that's my naming standard. What I might decide to do is use an incremental search, and then I can look through my code as each one is found. So let's see what that is in the Edit menu. It is Control J or Control Shift J to go next or previous. So again, instead of K, now we're using J. On the Macintosh, we'd be using the Command key, and we add in the Shift if we want to go backwards. So just remember that or write them down to keep them handy. Because once we're in the editor, let's assume we're looking for something that we know starts with button, but we're not sure exactly what it is. Let's hit Control J or Command J, and note on the bottom, it's started to say incremental find right here. So let me just undo this real quick by clicking somewhere else. Watch down here as I hit Control J. It says incremental find. Now continue to watch that area along with this as I type BTN. You can see that it now has BTN located down here, as well as highlighted the first one that it found. Now if I want to find the next one, I just hit Control J, Control J. If I want to go backwards, Control Shift J. You can see it says reverse button. And of course we don't go past the top there, so it beeped at me. But now you can see we can go back and find all the different buttons using that incremental search. So if we wanted to find something like cancel. So let's get out of this by clicking somewhere else, and then we can restart our incremental find. So let's just say CANCEL. Now you can see that cancel is capitalized. It's still located all the cancels that I have in my code, which is very nice. So I'm able to easily step through and go in either direction with that incremental search. So that wraps up our look at finding, replacing, moving next or previous to continue to go through the code to find the next or previous element we're searching for, and the incremental search, moving forward and backwards using some typed in keys that we're looking for in our code.